Hello everyone and welcome back. I am Duke Silver. Today we are going to be playing some Hoard Dragon. Pretty mediocre shop to start here, but we do get to lock this forbidden fruit. We're going to take the Billy Gruff here and lock the Wizard's Familiar, as we're going to take that with the forbidden fruit to get an extra stat, and we get another Billy Gruff in the shop. Fortunately we didn't have to take the egg there, so we get a couple pairs to start, which is really nice. And we even get to keep our health total high by winning this combat. And yeah, then we get a shop with Cindy plus Lonely Prince, so that's going to be a pretty easy take here. Included in the shop is a free roll to get us some progress on Cindy, as well as one more stat onto our Wizard's Familiar. And yeah, then we roll into a shop that has another Wizard's Familiar plus a Genie's Wish, so that's a pretty easy lock for me there. We are going to get egged here, but fortunately we take one of them with us, but Apocalypse does get to... it does get to replace the egg with a 4 glory unit anyways. Our Genie's Wish gives us a free roll. It gives us some stats onto our Wizard's Familiars though, and now our Cindy is already only 1 proc away from getting done here. We're going to lock this other Genie's Wish, just because Genie's Wish on 3 I think is very, very valuable. And of course we're getting quite a benefit from it, from these Wizard's Familiar stats. Gonna fire off the Genie's Wish first here. Gives us a Toil and Trouble, or sorry, Witch's Brew. Right, I always forget the names of the the sort of cheap targeted spells. And yeah, we get maybe the worst selection of treasures I've ever seen. None of these do anything on our board at all, and rather than skip, I think we're gonna take Bad Moon just because it has some amount of upside if we can find some Slay characters. It also gives us like an avenue to go into River Wish plus Lightning Dragon. In general, I'm not a big fan of that combo, but if I have a Bad Moon, then I'm more inclined, anyways. There's an Ogre Princess, which I am looking at. I think we're just gonna lock it until next turn, but yeah, I think we are gonna take that. And yeah, Beauty here takes experience, it looks like, as well as plays 2 polys, so they're very aggressively trying to get ahead, and taking a lot of damage for it. But they did get both their polyslays there, so yeah, maybe that's the right call, and yeah, maybe I'm just too risk averse to go for a bold play like that. But yeah, it looks like Beauty stabilized. They didn't take damage in the last turn. But anyways, enough focusing on that. We didn't get our Slay with our Ogre Princess, which is unfortunate, but we are going to leave it in 5 here. I am considering taking the Nutcracker. We've got a couple 2 pairs that we would really like to triple up. I was like looking at the mouse, and I accidentally bought it. Like, I just pulled it down a little bit too far, just like while considering it. And yeah, unfortunately there we kind of incinerate a gold taking the mouse. So again, kind of unfortunate. And we're gonna immediately sell it, and we're gonna buy this Medusa and then go for a Candy Rain here, or Candy Cannon, I should say. So yeah, Medusa, a 5/5 Medusa is fine here. It's generally not going to kill anything it attacks into, but it's at least going to shut down whatever stats that they had on it. We do get our Ogre Princess Slay finally, and we get a little bit of Bad Moon value out of it. There's a pair of Greedies, which I think we're just going to snap up here. I mean, we're Hoard Dragon. We kind of just want to get some pairs going. And unfortunately, we find a much better pair in the very next shop. What we're going to do is, at the last... Like, it took me a long time to deliberate over what to do there. I was considering selling for the Friendly Spirits, but I ended up just casting the Burning Palm onto the Ogre Princess and try and keep getting slays there. We do lose this fight. But we did get another Ogre Princess Slay, so we get the Good Witch in the shop, which we're just gonna cycle out because we can't. I mean, we probably should have sold the Baby Root and kept the Good Witch maybe, if we were gonna play the support. So I was a little preemptive selling the Good Witch before the Baby Root there, but it ended up being fine. We ended up selling the Baby Root anyways, so it didn't really matter. We get a triple for our Wizard's Familiar into Crystal Ball, so that works really well with the Wizard's Familiar in general, as well as with the Friendly Spirits, as we can just pump them full of stats potentially. And we get a gold out of our Greedy there from that Fireball, so that's nice. We get another slay with our Ogre Princess, fantastic. And we do win this combat, knocking the Fates out here. We have 1 extra gold to work with, and now, I mean, basically, we really just want to find Aon. I mean, of course, we're going to take this Friendly Spirit triple. Now the stats that we can pour into it are going to be even more valuable. Probably just going to go for a Sofa here, just add some extra stats to the board. We still have 1/2 pair that we kind of want to triple up in hopes of finding a hat. So we didn't consider the staff really. The Bad Moon probably needs to go. We didn't really find much in the way of Slay here. Although, like, technically Aon is Slay and can get some Bad Moon stats, but that scaling is just a little too slow. We lock the Lance there, which we are going to take. That's going to be with the Crystal Ball as well as with the help of the Sophie. Like, we should be able to get the treasure done pretty quick, and that's going to be a level 6 treasure. We get a couple dollars out of our greedies here. Unfortunately, they attack into our Medusa immediately. We do have a lot of stats on this Ogre Princess, but we do end up losing the combat. We get an angry out of our Princess Slay here. We're going to take our Lance, of course. And there's that Aon that we wanted, so we're definitely snapping that up. We're going to sell out of Amy here. And yeah, we're just going to... We Beauty's Influence the Aon, just in hopes that, like, when it gets attacked into, it doesn't immediately die. But then we get another Witch's Brew, and it's a little bit awkward. Just because we wanted to keep putting stats onto the Aon, but weren't able to do that anyhow. There's a Jekyll's Concoction. We're definitely going to take that. I think we're going to sell out of one of these greedies. Just because, like, we don't really care too much about level 5 treasures at this point with this setup. And yeah, I think we want to keep the Billy Gruff pair together just in hopes of finding that hat. Or potential, like, treasure map. Friendly Spirit stats go directly onto the thing that the Southern Siren attacks into, which is really good for us, because that is definitely the difference between winning and losing this combat. Keeping them from 2 characters there, and also from value trading, is very, very important. And this is a very expensive knighthood at 11, but I mean, that's kind of our spell cost reduction, so I think it's worth it. We're just going to fire off the 11 cost knighthood onto the Aon. So now when it slays, it's going to get 2 cost reduction instead of 1. And yeah, then there's now that we have the Aon going, we're going to get out of the Billy Gruff pair, and we're going to cast the Gigantify here. All right, we get our Aon Slay, which is great. So now we've got essentially a hat, but this beauty is very, very powerful here. They attack into our Medusa once again, unfortunately for us, and we do lose the fight. All right, we get a level 6 treasure, and I mean, we could go for, like, Mimic for Crystal Ball. I mean, Embiggening Stone is nice, but, like, when I'm casting spells, Embiggening Stone's a little less exciting, just because, like, we're spending a lot of our gold just casting spells and rolling rather than just buying a lot of characters. So Embiggening Stone's value goes a little bit down. But yeah, we're just gonna go with the Pandora's Box. Basically, we're gonna hope that it pops out a Black Prism, and then we can really pop off with our spells here. There's also, I mean, there's a fair amount of other good hits as well. Mirror with this is great, just because, like, if we pick up Scions, then they're very, very large. So I guess mirror is, like, fine. the rest of our front line isn't really set up for mirror, but yeah. Also, I mean, obviously Holy Grail would be basically game over for the lobby, so that's great. So opponent hits a Pigamorph directly onto our Aon here, which is really unfortunate. Fortunately for us, the Doom Breath doesn't quite cleave our backline. It hits our big characters that get to survive the hit. And yeah, this the pumpkin didn't really produce a ton, so we might be okay here. And yeah, we just barely have enough stats to get the win there. And we get an Excalibur out of our Pandora's Box. Not the worst thing ever, but definitely not maybe not the most exciting thing, but I mean, it translates to a lot of power. And speaking of power, that's a Golden Scion. So if we can just pick up a few Golden Scions, then we get pretty strong here. We would like to find a way to cast multiple spells if we can get. We also have to get this Aeon Slay going again, though. Yeah, missing even a single Aeon Slay when you're relying on it, like, can really kill your momentum, because, like, I mean, we just can't keep growing the Scion at this point, which is hampering our ability to keep growing our Aeon anyways. We pick up a Baba because we were kind of running out of gold and out of time. And I mean, it is a mage, it does scale with the Aeon, and if we do get the Aeon Slay, then that's a lot of spell cost reduction. I believe we did not get the Aeon Slay here, though. I think the breakpoint just barely didn't work out. We're gonna take this Golden Herc, though. It's the only way that we can get a treasure for, now that we have Excalibur. So yeah, we don't get any spell cost reduction this turn either, which is really bad for us. So we cast a couple spells for full price onto the Aeon and hope for the Slay in the next one. And we hope that this Herc can get something done for us. We do get the Slay with the Aeon, so that's something. Yeah, it looks like our Herc is going to get to come around and attack again and get the treasure in one. So that's great. They do get a Cupid attack, which does a chunk of damage to our front line anyhow. Lightning Bolt there is pretty good, but not quite enough for them, as we win the fight and get our 4 glory, and we get a level 7 treasure out of our Herc. And again, these all kind of have merit. I mean, I think it's just going to be Holy Grail. Holy Grail is just far too powerful. We have 20 health, so I think we have the health to go for it. But Mirror with the Scion is great. Round Table is actually surprisingly good in mages, just because, like, you can see how much power they're gaining from the Aeon scaling, and I mean it's gonna go up even more. So, like, it's a pretty decent pickup anyways. You're definitely not sad to have a Round Table in mages. We go for the Evil Twin onto the Herc here, hoping to get another level 7 treasure, as again that's our only other avenue to get treasures. Because I mean, the one level 7 treasure that we really wanted out of that was Black Prism, but unfortunately it was not offered to us there. And yeah, even with this Holy Grail, we're not going to be able to find more level 7 treasures. So a little bit unfortunate. We fight Beauty again. It looks like Beauty hasn't improved too much since the last time we saw them, and yeah, we come away with the win relatively easily there. All right, and now we've got a Golden Ashwood we took that we did. We were just running out of time and needed to spend our gold there. And we also have the Burn Beard, so like that kind of works together. We can fire off a Knighthood onto this Herc, just for fun, really, because we can afford it. There's an Echo Wood, so now we've got the Ashwood, Burn Beard, and Echo Wood. So I think you know what comes next. We're gonna make this transition to trees here. There's another Scion, which is very large at 161. So we are gonna take that. There's another Golden Burn Beard, which, yeah, we're out of familiar now. And yeah, we've got 2 Golden Ashwoods, Golden Burn Beard, and an Echo Wood, plus these Scions. Like, I mean, our board is definitely not small here. We definitely want to get this other Burn Beard in instead of the Baba, and instead we just find another Golden Echo Wood, and then we buy up another Scion just in case. Although I don't see Scion ever coming back in, so. And yeah, we make a pretty big improvement to our board, but our finals opponent here is also in trees. Looks like they've got Mimic Sophie. We do end up with the win with our Golden Echo Wood standing at the end there. But yeah, they have a very comparable amount of stats compared to us here. Consider the Gigantify in one of the Ashwoods. It just increases our stats overall by a fair amount. I think we just need to find Burnbeard or Ashwood or Echowood to replace these Scions now. The Scion, like, they're fine, but they're not trading very well against their front line. In fact, I think our positioning here is probably wrong. Like, you can see that it takes our whole front line to take out just their first 2 characters, and they have combined a level 6 and found a mimicked Phoenix Feather, which is the difference between winning and losing that combat now. So that's not great for us. We need to improve, or else yeah, we are just dead. We go for a shard onto our Herc there. Unfortunately, it's a pumpkin and not one of the trees that we wanted it to be. Go for a drink me potion here. Nothing exciting there. I think we're looking for a TLK or something like that to hopefully try and turn either this pumpkin or one of these scions into another tree. There's a Mix-a-Wizzle, which we do get another tree out of, because we Mix-a-Wizzle one of our scions there, and it becomes another Echo Wood. And now we're gonna jam 4 golden Echo Woods in the front line. We only have 1 Burnbeard here, so it's like a little bit like we don't have the most stats ever here, but now our front line is actually gonna value trade with their front line. And yeah, we attack into that Robin Wood, which is good. There's that Mimicked Feather. But yeah, with our 2 Echo Woods still standing in front, yeah, both those Echoes are going to trade down and or trade with the other Echo, or their resummoned Echo, and our golden units are going to deal enough damage to take down the lobby here. But yeah, look at that board. Look how it's well, I would say symmetrical, but like I should have just moved the Burnbeard over into slot 6 just to make it nice and pretty, but unfortunately didn't have that foresight. But yeah, with all the 4 golden Echo Woods in front is still a nice sight. But yeah, let me know if you enjoyed this. Please leave a like, subscribe, comment, do all that fun stuff that helps the algorithm. I would very, very much appreciate it. And yeah, I think that's it for today. So I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow.